Hi guys, today we will take a look at some new mousepad offerings from Vaxee. The thing with Vaxee pads was for quite a long time that they all used the same surface cloth, either with print or non-print, and only the base materials were different, which affected the glide properties slightly. But let's see if something is different with their newer releases. Here we have the PB, the PE and PC pads here at the office, but let's start with the PB since that is what I've owned the longest. The PB 2023 mousepad is sized like their usual model, so 470 times 390 millimeters, but this thing is thick. The thickness is almost 5 millimeters, and it comes from their special base structure, which consists of a silicone sheet at the base and a thick layer of high density foam in the middle. This provides the pad with a really firm experience and a bit faster user experience than their slightly softer PA pad. This pad is also using the exact same surface fabric as the PA or the PE pads that I'm going to talk about next. This thing also comes flat packed with a dustproof bag, and you are not recommended to roll this thing up at all. To travel with this, it is recommended you fold it like this with the dustproof bag. Overall, this thing feels like a really high quality pad, but there is a slight comfort issue for me since the combination of no stitching, a thicker pad and a smaller size vertically cause the pad's edge to press on my wrist a bit uncomfortably. That is why I haven't really used this pad as much as I would like, but this thing is a really solid control pad. But since the newer base, it is also a bit pricier than the other offerings they have, with a price tag of 59 euros. But yeah, if you like the PA, want a bit more higher quality version of that, maybe don't mind the bigger price tag, the PB is a really good choice. Next up we have their PE lineup, which was released this summer. For some people, the biggest problem with Vaxee's pads were that they were a bit too small. Well, that is not a problem anymore, since the main thing about these is that they are now big. The sizes that are available are 500 times 510, which is the L size, and 520 times 560, which is the XL size. Now, I know you are out there wondering, but wait, should the numbers be the other way around? You are so stupid. But no, since these are designed to help mainly with the issue of eliminating the empty space between the edge of the desk and the bottom part of your mousepad. That will sometimes cause your arm to stick and whatnot. There is still plenty of space horizontally with these, and I'm pretty sure you won't get in any legal trouble with Vaxee if you want to get that 560 millimeters of horizontal space and rotate your pad 90 degrees. The pad is 3.5 millimeters thick with their new base material foam that is really dense foam. It is a slightly softer than the PB according to Vaxee themselves, but in use it really feels the same as the PB density wise. It really holds the pad nicely in place, and yeah, it's a really good foam material. The surface of this pad is also the same as the PA and the PB, and you can choose from a variety of different prints. The printed versions are slightly quicker than the black non-printed version, since the print method affects the surface feel slightly, making the printed versions feel a bit smoother overall. There is one thing I however found with trying different skates on this, and it is that some pad style pure PTFE skates make the printed version feel much more muddy than the black version. It's maybe that the ink on the prints and the PTFE skates cause some sort of static electricity built up between the skate and the pad, so if it feels muddy for you, try out different skates. For example, I currently have some layered PTFE skates from AliExpress, and it feels super muddy on the printed version, but the X-ray pad jade dots are just really fast on this pad, and you can feel the difference between the black and the printed version with these jade dots clearly. The price of these vary from 43 to 47 euros on the L size and from 46 to 50 euros on the XL size, with the black versions being the cheaper ones. Then lastly we have here the PC, which is completely different from the other pads from Vaxee. It has a completely different surface and an interesting way of doing the edges. The size of the pad is a bit small, with the size of 460 times 380 millimeters, which was the maximum they could do with the pad with their current methods of manufacturing this. Vaxee told me the process of making this pad is quite difficult, but they are currently working to produce larger variants of the PC, which is good in my opinion. With the current size, I didn't have much problems in actual games, but on aim trainers, some scenarios like smooth tracking, I ran out of space a lot. If you are used to the size of the Vaxee PA, PB, or for example the GSR SE from Zowie, then this pad might not even feel that small, since the difference is really just 2.5% on both X and Y axis. So if you have a GSR SE with you or the Vaxee PA or PB, imagine the pad being half a centimeter smaller on every side. That is how small the difference is. Let me show you. So here is the PB, which is the same size as the GSR SE or the PA, and yeah, but it's like just half a centimeter on each side. So like it's not that small compared to the other Vaxee pads, honestly. But yeah, the pad is 3.5 millimeters thick, and the base is made from similar looking but slightly softer foam material than on the PE models. As you can see, the edges on the pad are actually rounded. They are really good and you can't feel them at all on your wrist. There have been some other pads previously with this similar kind of edging, so it is nothing completely new, but it has been a while since those pads were relevant, and they were pretty thin pads if I remember correctly. I would not necessarily say the edges feel better than a good stitched edge, since they offer pretty much the same experience, but Vaxee has done a great work in providing an alternative to stitch edges. The surface material on the PC is speed-wise in the similar category as Artisan's Hayate Otsu from my experience, and the surface feel is pretty similar also. It has a slight texture, but it is nothing abrasive, and it has a slightly plastic feeling, I'd say. Speed-wise, it offers great balance, and I feel like it is almost like the Hayate Otsu, but a bit slower in general. There is also not as much of a speed jump going from initial friction to dynamic friction on this, but yeah, this pad is really enjoyable in Apex for me, and I feel like it really shines in tracking heavy games in general, but there is no reason for this pad to not be usable in other games like Valorant as well. It is a really good balanced pad and my favorite out of the Vaxee's pad lineup. This pad is also very nicely priced, I'd say, and this pad will cost exactly as much as the black PA pad, so 33 euros, which is a really nice price in my opinion. But that concludes this roundup of Vaxee pads. Let me know in the comments if there is a pad you are going to get from these, and see you on the next video. Goodbye.